Candace. Candace is saying that Macron's wife is transgender. So let's say that is the truth. I'm just giving this as an example. Somebody like Candace is telling the entire public that, oh, the wife of Macron is transgender. And maybe, let's say that is the truth. And then Macron and his wife goes and pays the media to say that, to delete all the information that Candace said about Macron's wife being transgender. And then the media deletes it all. Now, if the media deletes all the information that Candace has ever removed to improve that Brigitte Macron is transgender, does that mean that the public also forget? If they delete the truth, does it mean that the public also forget that that truth ever existed? No. And that is the same with African history. They deleted the books. They deleted the libraries. They banned the libraries. But did they ban the information out of the people? No. So don't ever say that European notes. There's nothing like European notes. The truth cannot be deleted. As long as it happened, it stays with the people. It stays in your DNA, and it can never be deleted. So this thing of saying that, oh, European books, that's a clickbait from the Greeks. They wanted you to reach a point where you will never accept the truth. And trust me, they placed a lot of spiritual obstacles so that you will never accept the truth. Excubent. Kachako tiyo gido luo. Angi wiji mawacho. Ido na chaku wacho gido luo. Ama nianze kuongea Kiswahili. Utaelewa kile ambacho nasema? Ama that is just your way of silencing me. You don't want me to spread the truth. You are a demonic entity that doesn't want me to spread the truth. So you want to divide and rule. You want me to start nianze kuongea Kijaluo. I start speaking in Kiswahili so that most people cannot hear what I'm saying. Guess what? I already learned English. My ancestors could not tell you this because they were only speaking in Luo. I have already broken that cycle. Now I know English. And everybody that knows English will hear what I have to say, my dear. So go tell your ancestors that it is a failed mission. Go tell your ancestors that it is a failed mission. My ancestors could not speak to everybody because they did not know English. Now I know English, my dear. That particular cycle has been broken. Yeah, and if I start speaking in my own language, will you get what I'm saying? You will not. So excubent or whatever you are, get out and tell your ancestors you have failed in your mission. So anyway, as I was saying, I was still speaking about the story of the Bantus. It's very simple. It's a very simple story. The Bantus are the original human beings. And then from Bantus birth the Niloids, which are consciousness. And that is why the River Nile is very important spiritually, because now that is the consciousness of the planet. And what did the Niloids do? The Niloids were the way founders, the pathfinders. They knew the way. Why? Because they knew how to read the stars. Where did the stars develop? What is the star? A star is a star-shaped. Human beings are a star-shaped people. So the Niloids were the first star-shaped humans. And so they read humanity and stored it in Kemet. Kemet is just northern Sudan. What they call Egypt today is Sudan. That was Sudan. They wanted to divide and rule. Look at the maps. Egypt is Sudan. There is no Egypt without Sudan. And it is the Sudanese, which are the Niloids, which is the hotspot of Niloids, that stored everything that you see in Egypt today. Those were Sudan people that started from the Kerma. Kerma tribe was the first dynasty. that started storing the story of humanity, the star-shaped people. Now, when humanity started in Southern Africa, they were not star-shaped. They were not star-shaped. They were baboons. Female and baboons. So by the time they reached the equator, they became star-shaped bipedal. And that is what birthed the Nilotics, which now birthed the consciousness. And that consciousness had a story that was documented by Niloids, the original Niloids, the Sudan people. Sudan, the true south. And so when the colonizer came, the colonizer is jealous of the Niloids. The colonizer is a Niloid that was powerless, that became jealous of the Niloids that were powerful. It is all a story of jealousy, guys. It's all a story of jealousy. It's all a story of jealousy. Men being jealous of women, the white man being jealous of the black man. It's all a story of jealousy. Sudan, don't even say the real Egyptians were told like Sudanese. The real Egyptians are Sudanese. The real Egyptians are Sudanese. Look at the map. You know, sometimes when you see it with your eyes, you will see the truth. There is no separation between Sudan and Egypt apart from the Berlin Conference borders. It is the Berlin Conference borders that separated Egypt from Sudan. But Sudan is what is Egypt. Please, 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 South Africans, when you are reading history, know that Sudan is Egypt. It is the Sudanese that built the pyramids. Yes. Look at, so inside Sudan we have almost 200 pyramids. Trial. All those pyramids, they started building them in Sudan before now they went and erected the big ones in Egypt. It was Sudanese that built the obelisks that right now you see in France and Europe. It was a Sudanese thing. The obelisks were a sign of Sudanese authority, the authority of the Niloids. Yes, it was a destiny swap. Destiny was swapped. It is a story of jealousy. You might think it's a deep story. It's just a story of jealousy. It is just a story of jealousy. Because Niloids are the people who studied the Milky Way. And they studied the Milky Way and spread across Sahel. The entire Sahel is Nilotic individuals. And when I talk about Sahel, I'm talking about that country, that place where it covers Mauritania, Mali, Niger, Chad, Sudan, and then Eritrea. That is Sahel. Those are the people that discovered the stars. Sudan, Mauritania, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso is also there, Chad, Sudan, and then Eritrea. That is Sahel, the holy lands of the African people. So the destiny swap was done against the Sudanese people. And the Sudanese people have suffered the most because it was their history that was taken by the Europe. Europeans took this history of Sudan and made it their own. Even right now, all the information that they have about the stars, about the zodiac signs, about the birth chart, all that was taken from the Sudanese ancestors of Sahel. Do you know there was migration? I've talked about migration. It started in South Africa. Southern Africa, not South Africa. Southern Africa. The baboons traveled until the equator. When they reached the equator, they birthed a new species called the Nilotics. Then the Nilotics converged in Kerma, Kush, Sudan, and created the greatest civilization that has never been backed. Nobody has ever created a civilization that surpasses the civilization that was created by the Sudanese individuals. And when I talk about Sudan, it was bigger than it is right now. It was the entire Sahel region. The entire Sahel region was Sudan. That is now the desert. And it is desert today because it has been robbed. It never used to be a desert back then, but it is desert today because it has been robbed. And they built a civilization at Egypt, ascended human beings, a civilization that has never been surpassed by anybody. When you want to refer to the best civilization of the planet, people refer to Egypt. But they don't give credit where it is due. It belongs to Sudan. It belongs to Sudanese individual. And that is why out of the entire planet, there are no human beings that are more beautiful than the Sudanese individual. You'll never find anywhere. Those are silhouettes of our ancestors. The silhouettes of the most expanded of our ancestors was left in Sudan. And who birthed them? The Bantus. I'll tell you that for free. But it is from the it was from the Nilotes that again the European man came. Now, how did the white man come? From not harvesting the sun. The white man arrived from the inability to harvest the sun. Remember, it is your ability to harvest the sun that darkens your skin, that gives you a dark skin. What is a dark skin? Guys, listen to this. The same way the sun makes autotrophic photosynthesis to happen. Is it heterotrophic? Autotrophic, yes, autotrophic. The same way the sun enables autotrophism in plants. In the same way the sun enables melanin production in human beings. Human beings produce melanin because from the trigger of the sun. They make their own food. To have melanin is to spiritually make your own food. To have melanin food. To have melanin is like to be a green plant that makes its own food. Now, to not have melanin is the ability to not make your own food. The ability to not follow the 7 days. To not harvest. When you don't harvest long enough, you become pale. When you don't harvest from the 7 days, when you don't harvest from Heru, you start to become pale. You start to lose your melanin. And there were people in ancient Nilotic community that were lazy. Remember, Nilotes, there was no room for laziness among the Nilotes. And that's why they even wrote, remember the Bible comes from the Nilotes. He that does not work does not eat. If you are not autotrophic, you will not eat. And so there were certain Nilotics that were too lazy to harvest the sun. I'll just call it as it is. They were too lazy to harvest the sun. When you don't harvest the sun, you become unheterotrophic. You depend on other people for food. You depend on other people for food long enough, you will become a vampire. And that is what Europe is all about. Vampire energy. People who could not harvest the sun so that they have a dark skin. It is possible for a white man to turn black. I know right now you've seen, even in black lands, you've seen black men turn white. They call it vitiligo. You've seen a lot of black men discolor. But the opposite can also happen. Now, when a black man discolors, it is disease, it is demonic. But when a white man gains melanin, it is angelic. But how many white men do you see gaining melanin? They are afraid because it requires a lot of work, spiritual work, to gain melanin. And it requires laziness to lose melanin. So it is a two-way traffic. So the Nilotes that could not gain melanin and lost their melanin are the ones that became the white man. And today, they are the vampires of the planet. Very fragile. You know, even before you fight a white man, your essence will just tell you he's fragile. There is a communication, there is a collective communication that is always making you feel like the white man is a little bit fragile. You know, it's a little bit fragile, it's a little bit fragile. It's true, spiritually, they are very fragile individuals because they are not toughened by the harvest of the sun. When you harvest the sun, you become tough. And there are people who are teaching Europeans who are being taught on how to become darker, They had spiritual teachers, the Moors. They had spiritual teachers, the Moors, that were teaching them how to become darker. But guess what? They said, let's kill these people. As we don't want to become dark, we want to continue being vampires. We want to continue feeding off of everybody else. We want to continue drilling everybody's resources using guns. Somebody saying laziness isn't real. Try doing nothing. Easy does it. I see you call yourself easy does it. Try doing nothing with your life. Try sitting at home doing nothing with your life. And then come to me after 5 years and tell me how it is going. Are you listening to me? Easy does it. Easy does it. I want you from today for you to do nothing with your life. Just wake up, do nothing, go to bed. Wake up, do nothing, go to bed. Wake up, do nothing, go to bed. Do that for 5 years. When you're 24 years and above, try doing that for 5 years and then tell me where you will be after that. Spiritual laziness is a thing. Because remember, Mars is always there to help you take action. When you don't utilize the energy of Mars, you don't utilize the energy of Jupiter, you will not utilize the energy of Saturn. And soon you will be a vampire. Soon you will be a vampire. You will start wanting to targeting people. It is vampires that target people. After you've done nothing with your life, you now start targeting people who are doing something with their life so that you go plug into them. So that they carry you. That's how vampires are born. Energy vampires are born from spiritual laziness. People who have nothing going for themselves and now they go become a parasite on somebody else. Are you guys getting what I'm saying? Are you getting what I'm saying? I don't know whether my network is good or not. You know, it's wobbling. Just create for yourself. Use the 7 days. It's not easy. It's not easy to harvest, but guess what? It's worth it. Because being a vampire also, you can be killed anytime. When you go trying being a vampire to an awakened soul, you'll die. You'll be killed the next day. Vampires do not survive in the light. When you become a vampire, you now have to lie a lot. You lie a lot. You lie a lot. So much that when truth shows itself, you disappear. You are no longer a thing. So these are some of the things that when we start saying, the likes of Elon Musk will cry, they will start feeling like they're being discriminated against. But you know, we have to say the truth. If we don't say the truth, black people will never be liberated. The only thing that will ever liberate our people is the truth. The truth will hurt. It will feel like we are victimizing a certain people. But as we don't have, Europeans don't need to be killed. We are not advocating for you to be killed. We are advocating for to turn in order for you to be enlightened, in order for you to be a comet, advocating for you to turn in order for you to be a comet. So when this truth is being spoken, there's a lot of fracas that is going to happen. People will be offended, but at the end of the day, it has to be said. And literally, we are not saying the truth in order for people to start killing other people the same way the Greeks were speaking for black people to be killed. As we are not speaking for you guys to be killed, for the white man to be killed. We are speaking for the white man to know the direction in which they need to go. Because at the end of the day, there's no escape. Go into the sun, go into the sun, go into the sun. Darken your skin, darken your skin. If the sun burns you to death, then we will say, Aisulu. But the secret to your heaven is you must go to the sun and harvest from Heru. You must go to the sun and harvest from Heru. And as a black person, just know that you also have ability to become a vampire. It is your ancestors that birthed vampires. So you also have the ability to become a vampire. At the end of the day, it is what it is. And to speak for yourself, I want them to... Me, I don't want anybody to die. I want everybody to harvest the 7 days. That's all. What is the outcome of those bleaching? They're killing their own intuition. The less intuition you have, the less you create. You recreate for your ancestors. No, I cannot recap that right now, my dear. Are you trying to say there is no sun in Europe? I'm just saying harvest the sun. You know, the climate is always following what we do. Some people think that we follow what the climate does, but no. The climate shifts according to our collective consciousness. So the fact that the sun is not in Europe, is not as strong in Europe as it is in these other countries, is because the people are not empowering the sun to be strong in Europe. They are not harvesting the sun to enable the sun to be present throughout. They don't harvest the sun for the sun to be present throughout. So the sun has to die in their country for a while to mimic their own relationship with the harvest of the sun. Yeah, so the sun is there sometimes and sometimes it's not there. So harvest the sun, harvest from the sun. The white man needs to harvest from the sun. More. More. The sun is a dick. Somebody's asking what does the sun symbolize? The sun symbolizes a dick that fertilizes the planet, that gives the planet life. It is the sun that makes sure that plants are growing, and it is the sun that makes sure that humans are growing also spiritually. The sun is not an enemy of anybody. The sun is not an enemy of anybody. The sun is good for everybody, especially the autotrophic human beings who make their own food. So the plants, they have chlorophyll, humans, we have melanin. The sun triggers chlorophyll for the plants to make its own food. The same way the sun triggers melanin for humans to make their own food. They work hard though to maintain their power. How can you call them lazy? Working hard is relative. Just the same way we say laziness is relative. You're working hard towards what? There are people who are busy destroying. Can you call a person who is busy destroying a hardworking person? They are busy destroying themselves. They're busy destroying themselves. Can you call somebody who is busy destroying themselves? They're busy misusing themselves. A hardworking person. Now they are really working hard to maintain their power, which is working against the entire planet. And that can only work for a certain time, for a period of time. The ancestors did an excellent job. Why? Because of the weapons. The physical weapons. But guess what? In response to physical weapons, Africans and the universe and nature will always come up with better spiritual weapons. It's just a matter of time. In response, action, reaction, action, reaction. So there are spiritual weapons that are coming that are going to be against the guns. The guns are not going to be a weapon forever. In response to the guns, nature is going to devise weapons that the gun cannot destroy. In response to fire burning, nature constructs weapons that the fire cannot erase. Yeah, we should connect more to nature, but the white man is afraid of connecting to nature. And the nature that they're afraid to connect with is intuition. That's why they breed dogs that are changed from the normal dog. A normal dog is supposed to have a long nose. Because it is the nose of the dog that smells. The dog is Anubis in nature. A dog is connected to the moon directly. But the white man has changed the natural morphology of the dog so much that they have dogs that do not even have a nose. They change the loyalty so much. They are afraid to connect to the natural. And so because they are afraid to connect to the natural, they want everybody to be afraid to connect to the natural. That's the function of the villain. What they're afraid of, they want everybody to be afraid of so that they live in a world where everybody's afraid. Are Chinese from blacks? Yes, everybody's from blacks. Indians are from blacks, Chinese are from black, Japanese are from black, Koreans are from black, Russians are from black. Everybody's from black. Europeans are from blacks. Everybody's from blacks. Everyone, Australians everybody's from blacks. What I can say about women that sweat a lot, though I don't know about women that sweat a lot, but probably they are water signs. They are water deities. The X chromosome that makes them is water oriented. Remember, we have 3 X chromosomes: water, earth, and air. Yeah, everybody's from blacks. Everybody is from blacks. Right now, I'm seeing the white people in South Africa are always saying that blacks destroy everything. They are trying to turn everything upside down. That, Johannesburg used to be so clean until blacks. When it is the opposite. The world used to be so clean until whites. The world used to be so clean until so spiritually clean until whites. But now they are there in South Africa trying to shift the narrative. To make black people feel like they are the demons of the world. What occupied their continents before time? Blacks. And this is the reason why the black people of America are having identity crisis. Because they're telling everybody, we were here first. It's true. Black people were everywhere first. Black people were everywhere. The Niloids were everywhere first. The Niloids were the first ones in China. The Niloids were the first one in India. The Niloids were the first ones in Europe. The Niloids were the first ones in the Americas. The Niloids were the first ones everywhere. But where did they come from? From Bantu. So they went, listen, this is when you watch Moana, maybe it might make sense to you more. When you see Moana, it is talking about the people who used to go before, find land, and then they come, they bring their Bantu people there. That is what happened in China. Niloids went to China, they found out that China is habitable. They came, they brought their Bantus to go establish a territory there. They went to India, found India was habitable. They came back for their Bantus to go there. The Bantu expansion. Bantus expanded throughout the world, but what made them expand was the Niloids, the travelers. Then, what about Bantus? The Niloids are the ones that go to explore. You know, Niloids are called the pathfinders, the star readers. They read the stars. They were guided by the stars. They go into new lands. They find it is habitable. And then they come back home. They take their women to those lands, which are the Bantus. They go to new lands, islands. Then they find it is habitable. They come back and take their women to go in those new territories. Niloids were just Bantus that would go pave the way, and then they would take the Bantu. Bantus are not people who would go paving ways, you fighting with animals in the jungle and everything. No. Niloids would go fight with the jungle, pave way, and then create territories, and then Bantus would now come and occupy. I don't know whether somebody is getting what I'm saying. That is our story. That is our story. Our story. Are you guys getting what I'm talking about? asking me, what about Bantu men? Bantu men, you know, there's a story about Bantus that we will explore as we go. This story of lithops. When it comes to Bantu men and Bantu women, Bantu men are the men that stay at home with women. They did not go into the adventure. You know, Bantu men, I know a lot will be offended in the comment section, but Bantu men are the weaker men, men that are a little bit weak. Those ones that stay with mom at home because they are not strong enough to go into the jungle. You know, Bantu men are the ones that stay with mom, and the writing stays on the walls. Look at Bantu men even today. There are Bantu men that stays at home to protect mama, like the Bantu men from the places like Luya land. When you look at Bantu like Luya, the Bantus like Shaka Zulu, there are Bantus that stayed at home to protect mom, and then there are Bantu men that stayed at home because they were too weak to go into adventure. So there are two types of Bantu men, and when you look at them, you will always see the writings, they stay on the walls. Look at men from Luya land, and then look at men from Agikuyu land. You know, two totally different types of men. So there are men that stayed home with mom because they were more feminine. They could not survive in the jungle. And then there are men that stayed home with mom to make sure that their mom's security. That's what it is, guys. Let's just, you know, when you speak the truth, let's just speak the truth so that everybody can accept themselves for who they are. It will kill jealousy. When everybody knows their place, it kills jealousy and confusion. Nilotic women now are the masculine women. That's why most people see Nilotic women as masculine and stuff like that. Because Nilotic women were the women who were capable of traveling, also capable of adventure. So even Nilotic women, when you see even Nilotic women from tribes like Habesha, like Ethiopia or whatever, they are just beautiful on the outside. But on the inside, they're not as fragile. They're very tough. When you look at Nilotic women from Rwanda, they're very beautiful on the outside, but inside they're very tough like men. Interact with them and then you will see. Somebody's talking about, what about Kushites? Look at Somali. Somali women are very beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, those women are very tough. If you've never interacted with them, please go try interact with them. Very tough women on the inside. It's like men on the inside, but on the outside, their faces are very deceiving. Yeah, that is who the Nilotes are. Nilotic women, you'll either find that they are very masculine both on the inside and out, or they are very feminine on the outside, but inside is something else. It's a rock. African American, most of us. Yeah, I'm guessing so. I'm guessing most African Americans are Nilotic travelers, the nomads. Ati bado mnakumbuka mambo ya Kushites, Nilotes and Batu. That is what we are. Hiyo ndio sisi. That is who we are. Nilotic women are very masculine women. That one I'll tell you for free. Now, women who can survive in the jungle. Most Bantu women, the way they look on the outside is how they are on the inside. Even the dark ones. Even the dark ones, the way they look at, like on the outside is the way they are on the inside. Very, you know, very baby girl-ish. Very docile-ish. Because they are meant to be like that. They are the royalties that are supposed to stay at home, protected, under protection, under safety. Yeah. Let nothing ever deceive you that Somali women, the way they look pretty on the outside is the way they are on the inside. No. On the inside, they can butcher you to death. Very masculine on the inside. But on the outside, deceiving as fuck. You might think they don't have will. Yeah, Bantu women are very fertile. Those ones are the most grounded. Bantu women, never make a Bantu woman cry because you will die. Bantu women are very connected to nature so much that they don't have to fight. They just have to cry and God is coming. They just have to cry and God is coming to whoop your ass. They were not built to fight. So we must learn. We must learn. What kills Osiris is set. Somebody saying we still remember because these are our origins. And so even if Americans say that they don't come from Africa, but do you have the knowledge of Bantus and Niloids? Because where the origin starts, we still have the tribes up to today. In America, do you guys have the tribes, the original tribes up to today? Here in Africa, we have the tribes up to today. We have the Kikuyu, we have the Abagusi, we have the Kalenjin, we have the Maasai, we have the Turkana. We have a lot of us, a lot of roots are still here. The seeds, the original seeds are still here. We have the Luos, we have the Dinka, we have the Surma, we have the Oromos, we have the Somalis, we still have the origins up to today. That's why you can never say Africans are not, we are the original of everybody. And you go to countries like Japan. Japanese, even their own language, you find their language in Southern Africa. The way the Japanese speak is similar to some languages in Southern Africa. You go to Australia, they have so much in common with tribes here in Africa. Even just the aura. There are people here in Africa that look like the people who are in Australia. We just have to expose. Exposure is going to make everybody know exactly where they come from. And that exposure is what the white man does not want. The exposure is what the white man does not want. But the original tribe, the original Hebrews, the original Jews, everything, the original Latin, the original whatever, they are here. The original Brazilians, they are here. How does one know if they're Bantu or Niloids? Are you a traveler or are you a conservative? Are you a pioneering spirit or are you a conservative spirit? What does a conservative spirit mean? You like where the collective is. You don't like new things. You are fixated. You don't like when things are now changing. You don't like traveling. You don't like exploration. You like to live by the order of the way things are. You like to maintain how things are. That's how you know you are a Bantu. If you are Nilotic, you don't like maintaining things. You're always looking for a new. What new can I do? How new can I become? Where new can I go? How new can I travel? Where can I explore? That is the Nilotic spirit. Yes, how you live your life. Then you probably had the Bantus that birthed the Niloids. Also remember there are Bantus that birthed the Niloids. When you go to Bantu lands, Bantus have everybody. Go to Southern Africa, you'll find people who look like South Sudanese there. You'll find people who look like Somalis there. You'll find people who look like Ethiopians there. You'll find people who look like West Africans there. Bantus, they have everything. They have all the seeds. Bantus, they have all the seeds because everybody comes from them. So they have the seeds of everyone. So Bantus also, just know that it is from Bantus that Nilotics came. So if you're a Bantu who you like to travel, know that you mother. You probably are the mothers of the Niloids. Yes, Bantus are the origin. That's why we always say they are owners of the Ark of the Covenant. They are the custodians of all the seeds of the world. Everybody that wants to know where they come from, visit Bantu lands, and you will see where you came from. Because among Bantus, when you go to Southern Africa, they have everyone there. There are South Africans who look like Niloids, who look like people from Sudan so much. There are South Africans who look like Somalis. There are Southern Africans who look like West Africans. There are Southern Africans who look like Ethiopians. There are Southern Africans who look like Arabs. They have everyone there. Now somebody's asking, are South Americans Nilotic? When it comes to the history of South America, I feel like it goes so much deep into Pangea. Because I feel South Americans are just as ancient as West Africans are. I usually feel like South Africans are just as ancient as West Africans are. So I feel like most South African DNA comes from probably West Africa. And West Africa is mixed. West Africa is probably a mixture of Bantus and Nilotics. Because remember, Congo, there are South Africans who came from Congo. Southern Africa traveled into Congo and into West Africa. And then there are Niloids who came from Sudan and then into Sahel, into again West Africa. So West Africa is a collaboration of both the Niloids and the Bantus. It's like a storage unit. And I feel like that is what Americas is also. Storage unit. Yeah, I feel like Americas is also a storage unit, just like West Africa is. So I'm always hearing West Africa and Americas share a lot in common. And I want to trade towards that. But I'm open to hearing more about the history of the story of Americas. Me, I'm always open to hearing more. And guys, when I talk about Southern Africa, I'm talking about the position. I'm not talking about the country. When I talk about South Africa, I'm talking about Eswatini. I'm talking about Lesotho. I'm talking about the South Africa itself. I'm talking about Zimbabwe. I'm talking about Botswana. I'm talking about all those countries that are in the west, that are in the south. All of them are one. All of them are the origin of the lithops. The origin of the people. Yeah, Africa is a powerhouse. And there is a war that the Greeks wanted Africans to fight with the Americans. Please, let's not engage Americans. The war about fighting about who is who. Who is the origin. Let's not fight, oh. Me, I'm telling you, the writings, they stay on the walls. There are things you cannot erase. Europe was too small to erase the whole world. The only thing they did was spiritual hypnotism. They hypnotized everyone spiritually, but they did not erase anything. The writings can never be erased. They stay on the walls. So come to Africa, you find all the tribes here. And these tribes, you cannot say that, oh, they were made up. No, you cannot make up an entire tribe and tell people that, oh, this is now your tribe, this is now your tribe, this is now. No, these tribes are things that we've come with our language from the origin, from the beginning. We've caught them, and not all our people wanted to change. Some of our people, go watch Immortals. You're going to see some of the things that people used to do just to make sure that the truth does not get tainted. People removed their six lower. People would shape their heads. People would die just to make sure that they don't conform into the lie. So just know that our people also did what they can to make sure that the truth reached us as pure as it could have been. So don't ever talk. Some of you talk like Europe has been so powerful, so much that they changed everyone. They did not. Africans just did not want to fight, so they kept quiet. And in that quietness, they kept quiet with their truth in them. They kept quiet with their truth. Our ancestors did not just give in. Don't think. Yeah, our history is in us. And this is why I'm telling you, go among your people. The history is in your people, your language, your lands, the trees. Your truth is in you. Your truth is among your people. The writings, they stayed on the walls. If images from Egypt made it up to today, what else do you think made it up to today? Yeah, they've never figured out the pyramids. The truths that are ours, our ancestors kept up to today. So never think that everything was erased. Never think. Not everything was erased. In fact, they did not even erase 3/4. The farthest they went, maybe they erased 1/3. Or even less than 1/3. Yes, it was a tactic of, remember what the fingers represent, the hands represent. They represent your thoughts. The Belgians, they used to cut the hands of Congolese to ensure that the Congo do not speak, do not put their thoughts to other Africans. And it is happening up to today. Right now, Congo is in Mekorogwa, even the way they speak, you can never comprehend them completely. They are mixed, Kiswahili, French. They are mixed so much, their language, you cannot understand. West Africans cannot hear them properly. East Africans cannot hear them properly because they mix 2 languages. It was the same thing that was done to them. They were cut off from the rest of the world. The Belgians, they cut off Congo from the rest of the world. And your question should be why? Why was Congo cut off from the rest of the world? And look at Belgium. Belgium is a tiny country like this. And Congo is big. But they were able to cut off Congo from the world. And Belgium was such a bully. They sell millions of chocolates and because they were eating the thoughts of the Congolese people, and they're still eating thoughts of Congolese people up to today. I hope mixed people who are in Belgium can help us reconnect that particular dot. Because Belgians are still eating the thoughts of Congolese up to today, confusing the entire world about what is truly happening in Congo. Yeah, way bigger than Kenya. Yeah, the whites did not just eat us, they ate even the bodies of our ancestors from the grave. Anyway, I don't want to enter into such kind of things. It disgusts me to my core. I never want to speak about such because of the level of disgust that I get from talking about what happened. I just want to talk about now where we are going. Unity, if it is possible, and unity not just among Africans but mostly among African women. Unity among African women, and then unity with women of the world. If we can unite as women, because remember, Bantu is woman. Every woman where you are Bantu first. Even if you are a Nilotic woman, remember that by you just having a vagina, you are Bantu as a woman. Whether you're from Italy, a woman. Whether you're from Italy, whether you're from America, whether you're from China, you are a Bantu first before you are anything else as a woman. Because you are connected to the core. So the unity of the Bantus is the most important first, and then Nilotics. Now Nilotic women, because men are a lost cause, guys. Men are a lost cause. I'll tell you that for free. Men are a lost cause. Men love it that the Bible worships them. Even black men, even Bantu men, they love it that the Bible has placed them, the religion has placed them on a pedestal. They love they are benefiting from patriarchy. They're being supported. Look at the way America was supporting the homosexual ones. Men are a lost cause. I'll tell you, our fathers are a lost cause. Our brothers are a lost cause. If your own brothers and fathers are not a lost cause, I doubt it. As within, so without. Me, my own father and brothers are a lost cause. I do not depend on them anymore. I'm very dependent. I trust more in women that are strangers than I trust in my own father and brothers. Men are a lost cause. I'll tell you that for free. But remember, they listen to the women in their lives. So women, unite. Because once women are enemies to each other, the war will never end. War will never end once women are enmity to each other. Hakuna stima huku, my dear. Yeah, the system has been feeding men's ego, and now they better be ready. All is falling. Yeah, the system has been feeding their ego. Even right now, if I go and start telling men that, oh, you know, women are the ones who are supposed to be like this. They will not accept it. Whether they are black men or Indian men or whatever, they will never accept it. So don't even try. Men are a lost cause when it comes to saving this planet. I'll tell you that for free. And if you did not get that message when you were growing up with your own father and brothers, the behavior of your own fathers and brothers should have told you that men are a lost cause. If it did not tell you, I'm sorry. Yes, Serena, yes. Serena, yes. Curious and crazy, no. Anyway, guys, let me save my debt. Let me save a little bit of my, power. I don't know when the electricity is going to be back. It's still raining. I want to also go outside in the rain a little bit. I love it. I also want to go outside in the rain a little bit just to enjoy the rain a little bit. Yes, thank you. Yeah, so guys, I think this is how the live was supposed to be today. And women, me, I wish you all the best. I will not beg women also to unite. I just don't want to beg anybody. Me, I'm fine. If women decide to unite, it's fine. If you also decide to fight, then fine, we will keep coming back. Me, I'm not coming back though, but you will keep coming back to fight. But me, I'm just asking the universe to give me a way to complete my journey here in this particular lifetime. If women decide to unite, it's fine. If they don't, yeah, it's fine. I will still unite with the women that are willing. Whether they are from China, whether they are from Europe, whether they are from Americas. Me, I am ready to unite with women who are willing to unite. I will not also beg any Bantu woman around me to unite. I will not beg black women to unite. The ones who are willing, they will unite. The ones who are not, Aisulu, we will not beg you. Nobody is willing to beg anybody. We are tired. We come from ancestors who are also tired. So let's everybody do their own job. If us working on ourselves will keep us together, then fine. If it will not, pia Aisulu wada. Hakuna kubembeleza, hakuna mtu atakubembeleza hapa. I just go to the rain. I just like going to the rain. Do you think going with a non-monster over the non-monster is better? I don't go with any monster. Whether it's a non-monster or a non-monster, no monster. I only go with the daughters of Muumbi. Only. Daughters of the Creator only. No monster. No monster. No monster for me. Let me save my battery, guys. And have a beautiful time. I will continue until the day I can't continue anymore. But I will continue and see you next time. Okay? Yeah. Have a beautiful night. And the people who are still in the day, have a beautiful day. You're welcome. Bye.